come back! Come back! No! What's that? And who is he now? Stop! Everyone! This has gone on for too long. We are English. The English are far more sensible than all of this rebellion and uprising. We should talk this through. On the lawn now. All of you. I'm going to do it because I want to. Trial by bad right, war, I kill, war, I win. Get out of the way. Where the hell are you going? You know your place, peasant. That's Sir Thomas. He can't turn. No, I think. Now, Garrison, you have met these three protagonists, and so now you have to decide who is worthy of your support.
There's nothing to decide. Let me explain it. It's quite simple. I have pirates. I have Kentish warriors. I have a fleet of ships, and I have cannon. Cannon! They don't have a whiff of gunpowder between them. I am going to be victorious. Simple.
You are so like all the other nobles, aren't you? I have this. Ooh, I have that. Well, do you know what I have?
What?
I have a certainty that one day soon in the future, men and women will be equal under one king anointed by God. And on that day, maybe there'll be no more nobles. Maybe there'll be no more bishops. Maybe there'll be no more poll tax. No poll tax! No poll tax! Sing it! No poll tax!
You're all going to die! You're all going to die! Well, why don't you chant that? Because that's what's going to happen. Honestly, you people are pathetic. Do you really think that a bunch of farmhands are going to get inside the Tower of London?
Yes.
It's a rhetorical question, you idiot! I'm the only one with a real army. I'm the only one that's done this sort of thing before. My army has taken the city of London and now surrounds this fortress. So this is going to end in one of two ways.
I don't
One,
believe you.
my army stays outside, you starve to death. You first. Or two, my army gets inside and we kill all of you. Either way, declare wins.
I don't believe you.
Well, it's time to cast your votes. So, if you can see that clearly I am going to be the victor, then all you need to do is cheer for me now!
Hey! I, Joanna Farrar, and the Commons, led by Wat Tyler, will be successful. Raise your hands in the air and cheer for me now!
Or if you know that might is right, then raise your fists and cheer for me!
Clearly, you're all idiots. Let me explain it to you one last time. Look, she has sticks. He has stones. And yes, sticks and stones might break your bones, but gunpowder definitely kills you. I am going to be victorious. I simply cannot fail.
Now, there is one thing that you have perhaps forgotten about.
What is that?
Yes, you've got cannon.
Yes?
You keep going on about your cannon.
I do have cannon.
But you've forgotten that so have we. The Tower has got cannon. The City of London has got cannon. And they are put on London Bridge, which you never get across. Some of your army do have a quick fracas at Bishopsgate and Aldgate, but they're quickly forced back. Even worse, King Edward has marched to Tewkesbury, and there he has smashed the last of the Lancastrian lords.
What?
You are all that's left, unfortunately.
Well, I will never surrender.
You will surrender because you will retreat to Sandwich, and there you will surrender. But the king has said, if you lay down your arms, he will be merciful.
Lay down my arm! Yes, all right, I've done it.
I should have mentioned that after laying down your arms, you will get sent to Middleham Castle, where the king's brother Richard of Gloucester beheads you.
What?
Yes.
No. How on earth can this be allowed to happen? You are wrong. Look, Henry VI is in the Wakefield Tower, and he is the God-anointed king, and when he gets out, none of this will happen, you'll see.
I'm sorry to disappoint you again, but Henry VI, God rest his soul, has died in the Tower of natural causes. He died of melancholy.
Melancholy?
Yes, he was very sad when someone hit him on the head with a spiked club.
I see. Very
But
well.
don't worry, the Yorkist dynasty is here to stay. Edward has a brother Richard, he's got 2 sons, the prince in the Tower, so the Yorkist dynasty will rule for 1,000 years.
So then, the Commons of England, how did
Shut
you
up!
get through the wall?
Know your place. There's far too much talk here, and there's not enough action. I'm going to bring my soldiers in here now, and they're going to kill all of you. Declare never fails!
Well, in this case, and you have failed. You see, my lord, you believe King Henry is a weak and stupid king, but he is clever enough to know that as the Duke of Gascony in southwest France, he has access to a very large and very powerful foreign army, which he has sent for. They have marched on London and surrounded your army. Your men have all been taken prisoner. You are alone in this now. So you must surrender to King Henry.
Why? He's a terrible king. How can any of you support him? Oh, what am I going to do now? Wait for him to die? Well, that's not a bad idea. He's nearly dead as it is. And his son's a good man. The Lord Edward. Ah, yes, I like him as king. He's brutal and violent, just like me. We could go to Wales together, slaughter lots of Welsh people, and then bring their 2 princes back here to the Tower of London and humiliate them.
Well, before that happens, you must make amends. The church has decreed that you must pay a penance for your violence and bloodshed.
Right, how much?
You must go on crusade.
Crusade? Well, that's just more violence and bloodshed, but in another country. Oh, how typically English. Right.
You did fail to attack the tower, though, didn't you, Declare? Ah. And Falconberg, your great fleets failed, so don't look so happy about it. Who was it then who succeeded in conquering the Tower of London? You! Joanna Farrar and the Commons of England. We got through somehow. It was surprisingly easy. We got to the Treasurer and the Chancellor, who was sheltering there like cowards in the White Tower. We dragged them out onto Tower Hill and we beheaded them. And they were the first executions of their kind to take place out on Tower Hill. So, if you chose to support the Commons, you chose very wisely, and you should give yourselves a cheer. Oh, come on!
Yeah!
Yes, it is true that the only successful assault of the tower was by farmers and labourers. And how did they get in? Well, it's almost certainly because somebody let them in. Somebody in the garrison, sympathetic, left one of the rear sally ports open and they got in. And that, amazingly, is the only time the tower has ever fallen to a mob, to an army. But I believe, as you have been a good garrison, most of you did support the right one, that none of you are going to be put to the sword. In fact, even better, I am going to give you the rest of the day off. Thank you, I know, I'm very benevolent. And if you wish to explore those places, you may go to the Chapel of St. John, where Sudbury and Hales cowered before they were taken out and beheaded. You can visit the Wakefield Tower, where King Henry VI died of melancholy or was bludgeoned to death, whichever you choose to believe. And if you are exhausted after all that marching around, there is a cafeteria just behind you. But before we go, I think we should give a last cheer, round of applause, and a thank you to Sir Thomas for carrying the and enjoy the rest of your day at the Tower of London.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.